Okay. Lex, we got everybody in here?
Yes, we are all set.
Okay, awesome. Give me just 2 seconds. Pull up things. How are y'all doing? Y'all are on mute right now, but let me hear how y'all doing so far today.
Pretty good.
Great. Good. We are so glad to have y'all. Okay, so my name is Alexis Wilson, and I am founder of the Menternship. We're super excited to have you guys here. Normally during this time and in July, we're running our programming, our 9-week programming, but obviously we couldn't do that because of COVID-19. So we came up with this virtual series so that we could continue to personally and professionally develop beautiful Black and brown young women like yourselves. And you'll be able to get a little taste of what we teach in programming. And I'm grateful to say that you'll be able to get it alongside with the partner and creative director of the Lit Bar, Rosco Spears. Rosco, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. This is going to be... Faces. You said what?
I'm so happy to see everybody's face. I'm just looking like, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey girl.
They looking beautiful. I'm loving it. We're going to have a really good session, y'all. And we have a little bit more than 15 on today. That's because we selected 15 girls to participate, but we also have a couple of our interns from our previous year's cohort. So you'll see them, definitely connect with them in the chat. And then also we have 2 of our executive board members on the call as well. And so they're going to be here if you guys are having any tech issues or anything like that. Just go in the chat, say, hey, I need some help. And they'll be able to help you. Stay active in the chat. If you hear a gem drop, put it in there so you can remember it. And again, tap on our advisory board if you need any help. And before we get into the flow of things, I just want to tell you guys what to expect within this next hour. So Rosco and I are going to have a super informal interview. It's going to be very conversational. After the interview and after you hear from Rosco on how she works for it and she rests for it and how she's learned to balance that and is still in the process of doing that regularly. We want to take you guys through a workshop so that you can do the same thing and you can have a tangible tool that you can start applying tomorrow, like ASAP. We don't want y'all to get on this and then be like, oh, that was nice. And then just totally, forget and not apply what you learned. After we go through the workshop, then we're going to close up with some Q&A. You'll be able to ask Rosco whatever you want. And then we'll close up with the group photo. We'll do like a little screenshot at the end. And before we start with that, I just want everybody to take a second to introduce themselves. So we're thinking, let's do name and your favorite thing you do to rest or relax. And I know on Zoom, everyone's order is different for everyone. So I'm just going to call as I see it and just give me name and your favorite thing to do when you're relaxing or resting. And we can start with Michaela.
Hi, everybody. I'm Michaela Mosley. And my favorite thing to do to relax is to watch TV with my friends and binge on new TV shows.
Love it. Okay, and then also, I see we got 2 Michaelas.
I was like, wait a minute.
Because I was looking at this one and I'm like, the voice and the audio is off right now. But okay, so we got Michaela Mosley. And now, Michaela, tell us your first and last name.
I'm Michaela Richardson, and I like to cook or work out.
Got it. Nice. Thank you. And tell me if I'm saying your name right. Is it Dejana?
Yes, Dejiana.
Dejiana, okay.
Yeah. Dejiana Perry, and my favorite thing to do to relax is to get some fresh air. So anything outside.
Copy.
Love that.
Copy. Okay, Jasmine Nicole.
Hi everyone, I'm Jasmine Williams, and one of my favorite things to do to relax is take a hot shower and then drink some tea. It's the best.
I feel that. Maya Evans.
Hey guys, I'm Maya. My favorite thing to do is probably lay on the couch and watch Netflix or YouTube.
I feel that too.
Sydney. I feel that too.
Sydney.
Wait, did you call me? Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't hear you. I'm Sydney, and I guess I like to just pass out for like hours. to relax. So
I guess I'm gonna say I feel that to everybody's responses. I feel
Yep.
that too. Alexa.
Hey guys, so my name is Alexa Johnson. I definitely am a music person, so I like to just kind of jam out, feel good, and vibe, but also love tea and sleep. Okay, both of those definitely.
I'm a tea girl too. Felicia.
Hi, everybody. Felicia Thomas. My favorite thing to do to relax is to do a little at-home spa day. So mask, facial, foot, everything, just head to toe.
Can I come over?
Come through. Come through.
Thank you. I need that.
Ro.
Hi, everybody. My name's Rochelle Patterson, and I'm a really huge geek. So when I'm resting, as of late, I really like to watch Star Trek on Netflix. They have all the seasons now.
Love it. I'm a geek for Marvel, so I'll be watching superhero stuff a lot. Oh, I see some head nods. Okay, I knew I liked y'all. Like when y'all got on, I was like, they're special. Okay, Myasia.
Hi, my name is Myasia. My favorite thing to do when I'm relaxing probably is to take a bath with some lavender and go to sleep after.
That sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Lavender is my jam.
Absolutely. Darby.
Hi, I'm Darby. I think my favorite thing would be everything you guys said, along with probably being by the water and wine.
Yes, water. Kira.
Did you say Kira?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Kira, and my favorite thing to do to relax is I love to put on my Beats headphones and listen to music and lay down in my bed, close the door with the AC on.
That's a vibe. Angelia.
Hi everyone, I'm Angelia. My favorite thing to do to relax is probably just watch a good movie on Netflix. I don't watch a lot of TV, so like watching a movie is like a real treat for me. So, yeah.
Same. Dana.
Hi everyone, I'm Dana Session, and my favorite thing to do to relax is probably go to sleep listening to some type of soothing music like Janae Aiko or something like that.
She's my jam. Y'all naming all my jams right now.
I know. I'm like, dang, I want to do
really all of them. Once I heard wine up in the mix, I'm like, this covers my life.
Okay, tell me if I'm saying your name right. Is it Lourdes? Tell me.
In Spanish, it's Lourdes.
Lourdes. Come on, teach me one more time.
It's the R. It's Lourdes. It's actually two syllables. Lourdes. Thank you.
Okay.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. So my name's Lourdes. I'm a little bit of a clean freak. So if I have free time, I just love blasting my music and getting to clean to just have a spotless place. So that's my favorite thing to do.
Yes, ma'am. I love that. That's what I do on Saturdays.
Do you blast the music?
I do. Absolutely.
I
blast like Masego.
Your house not clean.
You said what?
If you don't have good music blasting while you're cleaning, your house not clean.
Exactly.
Very true.
You need it. And then last on here, okay, Annalasia. I can tell by her
Annalicia. Annalicia. My name is Annalicia, and my favorite thing to do to self-care is listen to podcasts. I have a bunch that I listen to, so I love that.
What's your favorite podcast?
Amanda Seals, Small Doses.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So look like you got some people that like that too.
Yeah.
Good. Did I miss anybody? Nope. Okay, cool. All right. So for this next portion with the interview, we're going to ask that you guys turn your cameras off so that the screen will display me and Rosco while we talk. And then once we transition into the workshop, into the Q&A, of course, we'll turn the cameras back on so that you can see everybody.
And Lex, just really quickly, just in case anyone doesn't know, if you hover your clicker over anyone who has their video off, there's 3 little buttons or 3 little dots at the top right. Click hide non-video participants so that you can only see Lex and Rosco, so it'll just make for a more intimate experience.
Intimate, I love it.
Thank you, Alexa. You came down like the voice of God. Thank you. Okay, Rosco. So happy. So happy.
I love Alexis a lot, just in case y'all didn't know.
And I love Rosco a lot, just in case y'all didn't know. We actually met because the Lit Bar was actually my first client that I had when I started my brand management company, Exalt Management. So it's just a deep love there because it gave me opportunity. And then also I met beautiful people like Rosco, who I just connected with and who inspires me, not just like creatively and business-wise, but also like your transparency, your vulnerability, and sharing yourself and then sharing things that you're dealing with that aren't comfortable to share with the world. It inspires me all the time. So yeah, and like I told you, when we were first thinking about this series, you were the first person that came to mind. And I was like, we need for Rosco to talk to the people.
I love you so much.
Yeah. And I think that you are like nobody knows Rosco Spears and all that she does because you low key, which I love. Huh?
I said, I'm low key. I only know how to be low key.
I thought you said I'm not low key. I was about to say, oh, okay. But no, you're low key and you move in silence, but you do so many things. As partner and creative director of the Lit Bar, you're also an artist yourself. And I told you I was going to need you to flex a little bit and tell us what you do and all the cool things that you've done, all the amazing projects you worked on, because I think what that will do is kind of give us some perspective to understand like, wow, this woman is doing so much, but yet she's doing this session called Work For It, Rest For It. So rest must be important, especially if she's getting herself to show up and do all of these amazing things. So can you tell us about all that you do and have done?
Yeah, I am going to try and keep it brief. But I guess I'll start with like 2012. That's when I started fashion styling. I moved to New York. Like a couple months after I got there, I got an internship with Allison and Olivia, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be amazing. My first real fashion company that I'm working with. And then like a month later, I got connected with a stylist at Brooks Brothers who needed an assistant. So I started working for Brooks Brothers. And then from there, I kind of just got pulled around to all of these different companies. So I worked with Kate Spade and Taylor, J. Crew. I've done fashion shows for Macy's, St. John's, Asics Shoewear. I'm trying to think of other brands that I've worked for, but I've worked for like a laundry list of brands when I lived in New York. I've worked with a few different artists like Keke Palmer, doing some styling, Ashley Blaine Featherson, Elle Varner, Andrea Lewis, who was also one of my best friends. But when I was in New York styling, that's also when we started the Lit Bar. So this is when I really realized that I needed to rest, but I didn't start resting until years later. But I would do my work when I was styling. Like I would go into the city, do my styling for 8 hours or whatever, and then I would come home and work on the Lit Bar, or I would be working on the Lit Bar in all of my downtime when I was, at the studio doing these photo shoots. Mm-hmm. And from there, I went to LA, did the same exact thing. So when we started the Lit Bar, we weren't really getting paid at all. We were working for pennies. So I always, for a very long time, had to do the Lit Bar plus something else to get my money so that I could eat and live and have a roof over my head. But yeah, I then went to LA. I was doing more styling. I got into production design. And production design is very vague, but I worked on a couple of series where I would build the sets. So if we could essentially go into a house and I could turn that house into a bedroom. I could make the living room a party scene. I could make literally just like 7 different settings out of this one very small Airbnb. So I've done styling, I've done production design. With the lip bar, I pretty much handle anything involving aesthetics. So any of the graphics that you see on social media, anything that you see on the website, I put that together with my graphic designer. I'm working with our web developers in China to build and update our website literally every day. Another way that rest comes into this equation really quick is again, I said our web developers are in China, which means that I am working with them either from like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. or I'm getting up at like 6 a.m. to work with them. When my normal 9 to 5 is, within certain hours. So I'm having to work all of these extra hours when I should be resting and sleeping to work on our website. But yeah, I do all of our photo shoots, all of our video shoots, and that's like from soup to nuts. So if we do need styling or production for the shoots, I'm doing that. But I'm also hiring all of the models and the hairstylists and the makeup artists and the photographer and the videographer, and I'm making sure that we have snacks on set. I don't have an assistant, y'all, so I'm literally doing every single thing. And then outside of that, I'm a painter. This is a very old pillow, y'all, but this is my signature design. I've been drawing it since I was like 13 years old, but now I just put it on everything. So I love painting, even though I don't find much time to do it now. And then the other thing that I'm so passionate about, like literally more than anything else that I just named, like I don't care about fashion anymore. I love the lip bar. I love painting sometimes. I am obsessed with working with babies. So outside of everything else, when I have time to, there's an organization that I work with in New York. It's called A-Step, Artists Striving to End Poverty. So we work with a lot of different like women's shelters or schools in New York, a lot of homeless shelters. We have a school in Bangalore, India that we work with. And then aside from those 2 areas, we're kind of all over the place. So Florida, Elaine, Arkansas. I'm trying to remember where else they sent me, but I teach art to babies. And that's what brings me the most joy out of anything else. Most of these kids are disadvantaged or they're in very impoverished situations where they don't really have the resources to create art, or they don't even know what art is. So me and my team at A-Step, we go into these different communities and we just have a blast with these babies.
That's beautiful.
I think that's what I do.
I thought you were going to cut it, like give me like 3 sentences. So I'm glad that we got you to explain all of that, because you had.
I was like, wait, and I do this and this other thing. So yeah, but that's it for real.
Yeah, you do a lot, and you've done so many cool things. And I think like within the space of like creative direction, it's until you are doing it, it kind of feels like, okay, like how do you get started? And it feels kind of abstract to someone who's not in the field, or like how do you start getting clients to style? How do you design a set production for a show or a movie? Do you have anything that you could say for the creative who's like, I want to get into that, but like, how do I actually make it tangible, especially if they are in areas, that aren't LA or New York?
Right. Number one, you just have to start doing it, because I started styling when I was in Detroit. Like we don't have much in Detroit, you know what I'm saying? But we do have, what's the magazine called? I can't even think of it right now. I forgot, but we do have small publications.
Yeah.
In Detroit, we do have restaurants that need commercials. I'm thinking about some of the stuff that I did back in the days when I was living in Detroit in 2011. And like I said, that's when I really started styling, before I decided I need to move to New York. But I worked with like restaurants. I worked with music artists in Detroit. We have a lot of music artists. So when they're shooting their videos or when they're putting together their content for social media, everybody needs a photo shoot. You reach out to them like, this is what I do. I am great at building websites. I am great at styling. I am great at doing makeup. If you have a project coming up, I would love to be of assistance. And you can get rates. I will say that when I started, I was kind of getting my feet wet, so I had to prove myself.
Right.
So I may work with somebody and do something for free. Like, this is my work and this is what I know how to do. If you rock with it, then we can figure out something in regards to payment. But yeah, I would mostly say you just have to do it. So when we started the Lip Bar, all I was doing was styling. I was teaching for years before that, before I moved to New York. But when my best friend said she wanted to start a makeup brand, I was like one of her creative friends. So I became creative director. I didn't know what the fuck a creative director was. You couldn't pay me to know what a creative director was. So when I started, I was really just doing social media like Instagram and Twitter and trying to put pictures on Pinterest. Like, I know how to put together a photo shoot because I've done some production before, but I still barely know what a creative director is because I'm literally learning every single day. But yeah, you just have to start whatever it is that you want to do. You have to start. You have to put in work. You have to research. If you know someone who's doing the work that you want to do, hit them up, like hit their line. Everybody knows how to stalk in this group, I'm pretty sure. Don't front and act like you don't. But stalk the internet and find that email. And you can start on LinkedIn. That's a great place to start. But email them. Don't say, I want to pick your brain. You have to come up with a more creative way of saying, I want you to teach me what you know. But yeah, I think those are great ways to get into whatever it is you want to do.
I love
you
that.
got to start work. You got to do some research, find people who are doing what you want to do, and just try to learn as much as you can.
I love that. And what I'm hearing from that is, like, you had to create opportunity for yourself. So while you were in Detroit, no, Detroit is, we love the city, but it's not the place for, it's not the best. It's not the best environment for, creatives or fashion or entertainment or things like that. But even when you said, like, you worked with restaurants, that needed commercials, and that just
advertisement,
Yeah, and that was building your portfolio. So I love, because, like, as creatives, we can sit for a second and be like, okay, like, how can I get creative in my approach to getting where I want to go? Not just creative in my art, not just creative in my craft or in my styling, but like creative in how I'm gonna make sure I get from point A to point B. And you created opportunity for you. So I absolutely love that. I gotta circle back to the very beginning when you showed us your classic design that you've been doing since you were 13. Does it have a meaning? I didn't know you've been doing that since you were 13, and it made me wonder, like, I wonder if this is attached to something. Does it remind her of something? Does it have a meaning to it?
Honestly, no. It just reminds me of my childhood because I've been doing it for so long. So I made this. So y'all may be too young for gel pens, but
oh no, honey, we would get the 12 pack. Oh yes,
that's what I'm saying. So I used to have all of the gel pens and construction paper and this same print. I wish that I had something else in here to show y'all, but I made it much smaller. And I started it was the last day of middle school. You could either go outside and play, or you could stay inside and take a nap or do whatever you wanted to do because we weren't doing schoolwork on the last day of middle school of 8th grade. So I stayed in, I had my construction paper and my pens, and I had my click. In 8th grade, we were called SCO, Sweetest Click on Earth. But anyway.
No.
Period. Click. Yes, Annalicia. So I wrote all of our names on a piece of paper, and then I just started making lines around each name. So if you keep doing that, it'll build and get larger and larger. And then if it's another name over here, those bubbles would connect.
Right.
And, that's how I kind of came up with this design.
Wow.
It just became a lot more structured over time. So when I was in college, I went to this art gallery that was in Grand Rapids. I went to Grand Valley, and I had all of these gel paintings, these gel pen paintings. I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, hey, do you think I can hang these in your art gallery? This man said yes.
Wow.
He's an amazing painter. His name is Reb Roberts. I love him so much. But I hung my gel pen paintings in his art gallery. And I would like just go in and stop by, check on him, check on my art. And he's like, you should paint something. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to paint. And he's like, no, you should try painting. I'm like, I heard you, but I said I'm good. So chill, bro. And he got me started painting. Like, he gave me these beautiful silk screens. He used to have the most beautiful wood. He gave me a ton of paint, and he taught me how just different techniques with painting. Like, I say that I'm self-taught. He taught me a lot, but I don't have any formal training in painting at all. But when I started painting back then, I guess that was 2009, I think. I used to paint with a lot more color. I used to be a lot more creative. I used to do collaging, a bunch of different stuff. But this design just kept coming back to me. And now it's literally all I paint.
Yes. And I love that he was able. You said what?
I call it my fingerprint. I say that it's in my DNA since I've been doing it all my life, basically.
Oh, that's dope. And it reminds me of a fingerprint. Like, it's like every time I see it, I'm like, yes, Rosco. Like, it feels like you. And it looks like a fingerprint. It's like Rosco's fingerprint. And I love that he acknowledged and he saw something in you that you didn't see yourself, and like, look where it has you now.
I thought it was crazy. I'm like, just please stop. I don't want to do this right now. I'm not painting. But yeah.
And I can only imagine like all that is to come with that. Like, you still have so much more life. You've already done like a lot, but you still have so much more life to live and so much more to do. And I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't ask, like, with all of these things that you're doing, how? Like, okay, like, you got to talk to people in China. You got to talk to people in America too. You got 3 different jobs. Like,
yeah, I talk to 50 different people in America. I don't know. You kind of just make it happen. So I don't paint as much as I used to, or as much as I want to. I will say that working at the Lit Bar is a completely different type of energy than me working at my house and painting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm working, I may start at 9 o'clock. I'll probably finish somewhere around 6. At the end of the day, I feel like I'm exhausted. I'm not exhausted. I'm not exhausted, but I feel like I am tired. I feel like I'm drained. I feel like all I want to do is like go for my run, eat dinner, talk to my fiance, and play with my puppy.
Right.
So I don't paint as much as I used to. I don't do styling anymore. I'm completely over that. But I do, like when I was in LA, I still found time to work with the babies. When I can now, I will work with the babies. But I don't know. I guess it's just a lot of balance. And I will say that I need to do a much better job at getting back to that, getting back to doing all of the things that I really love and not acting like I'm tired at the end of the day, because I'm not. Because as I said, when I was living in New York or Cali, I was styling plus doing a Lit Bar. So it's like now my main thing, like my main bay is the Lit Bar, but I still act like I don't have anything else to do with these extra 5 hours of my day. So yeah, I do a lot with the Lit Bar. I was about to say, I don't do that much now. I do a lot with the Lit Bar. But the other things aren't necessarily pulling me in so many different directions anymore.
Right. So when you do have those extra 5 hours and you're not on for the Lit Bar, how are you resting to make sure that you can show up the next day?
I love going hiking. I live in Beacon, New York right now, which is a really cute town. There's a mountain like maybe 15-minute walk from me. I love hiking. I love with my puppy. I love drinking my tea or making tea. I love making tea too. But I love writing when I have time to. But the extra hours, I really feel like it's always something different every month, right? So right now, with my extra hours, I am planning a wedding and planning a move and planning a surgery, which are all 3 really big things. Yeah. But normally I'm just trying to spend those extra hours of my day relaxing or cooking or like preparing my mind for the next day. Yeah. And you mentioned the surgery. And I was going to go into asking you, because, you know, you're very open about things that are happening with you physically and how those had to you had to take a back seat for a little bit and get that together.
You have to give time to it, just like you're designating time to it now to go get this surgery because it was impacting your quality of life. It impacted, though it was a physical thing, it was impacting spiritually, emotionally, and it showed up in your workplace. So can you talk a little bit about what you do experience physically and how it's kind of made you have to shift how you work and how you rest?
Yeah. So I have fibroids. Fibroids are tumors that are in or around the uterus. And they can have different symptoms for every individual woman. But for me, they cause a lot of pain, a lot of heavy bleeding, like to the point where I would have to get blood transfusions. It would make my iron really low, which like depletes my energy completely. So sometimes when I'm on my period, like the first 3 to 4 days, the only thing that I can really do is go to the bathroom and then go back to the bed. And I'm like possibly stumbling to the bed because like that's the amount of blood that I lose. So it's like, girl, I don't got no more energy for you. Like, get back in the bed. You're not doing anything else. You're about to go sit on this toilet and then you went back to bed. So I've dealt with that since around 2010. I didn't find out that I had fibroids until I went to New York and saw a different doctor in 2012. So I kind of just dealt with it all that time. I didn't experience much pain removed, and I was good for a couple years. It didn't really start affecting me in a very serious way until I'll say about 2016.
Okay.
But that's when I realized that the bleeding was so much that sometimes I couldn't go to work. Like a lot of times before, I would still be able to do my day to day and I would be good. I would like maybe be in a little bit of pain, maybe lose a lot of blood, but I would still be good. But at some point it came to a time where it was like, you can't even make it to work. Like you can't even make your 1 hour journey to work without bleeding through your panties and your pants. So, and at this time I had to go to work because like I said, we weren't paying ourselves for real at the lip bar. So I am literally putting on 2 different pads, like layering up my pads like this, putting on my panties, putting on boy shorts, putting a rag underneath, like just to catch anything extra, putting on leggings, and then putting on my pants. Like all of this just so that I can make it to work without bleeding on whatever form of transportation I'm taking. And then I would also bring like an extra pair of clothes to work, you know? And lately, like the past couple of years, I really had to start paying attention to the fact that when I am stressed or when I'm in these high stress situations, my body reacts. Like our vaginas and our uteruses are so powerful, y'all, and we don't realize it. It took me so long to realize this, but I realized it because like I haven't lived in Detroit in a minute, but after I moved from LA, I would go to Detroit to do all of my photo shoots for the lip bar, right? So photo shoots for me, while they are a lot of fun, they are stressful because I have to manage this entire herd of people, like at least 10 people at a time at minimum. I have to make sure that they'll actually show up. Because, you know, a lot of times people are like, yeah, I'm gonna be there, I can't wait. They don't pull up at the last minute. I have to find 2 more models.
Right.
I have to make sure that all of these shots are perfect enough to be, you know, published or presented on our platforms. It's just a high stress situation, although like I said, it's a lot of fun. So I've realized that every time I'm getting ready to go to Detroit, it doesn't happen anymore. I'm putting this into the universe. It doesn't happen. I'm going to Detroit on Monday. But before, whenever I would be ready to take a trip, I would start cramping so bad. I would start bleeding so heavy. And then it's like, okay, now I have to get on the airplane. And I have to keep getting up and going to the bathroom on the plane saying, excuse me, can I please get out? Don't know if I bled on the airplane seat. So I realized that I have to start doing these different things in order to not be so stressed and to not be so anxious about my work or whatever else it is that I'm dealing with. So that's like when I started to meditate, and that's when I started to make sure that when I wake up, I don't pick up my phone and start checking my email. Like I'm very much so a person where if I have over 7 emails, I'm like, all right, what y'all want? How can we fix this?
Some of these off.
Listen, what do y'all want? Let's figure it out right now so that when I start work at 9, I don't feel anxious looking at all of these emails, which is outrageous. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I know why you think like that, because it'd be like, okay, well, when I start, if I only come back to 3 emails, then I kind of got some of the day done. So but you just rob yourself of that sacred time that you could be having yourself, but you didn't give it to other people immediately first thing in the morning.
Exactly. So I started making sure that before I start work in the morning, I take time to, a lot of the stuff that y'all said, drink my tea, try to meditate, just try to journal. It could literally be anything. Even if I want to sit down and watch a show in the morning, sometimes my puppy wakes me up at like 6:30. Even if I, like literally whatever I want to do, I want to have a couple of hours to myself before I jump into work. And then at the end of my day, I've always worked from home because I've been remote, you know, pre-COVID, because I've never lived in Detroit where our brand is now. But it's easy when you're working from home to not get off your laptop until 8 p.m. Which is outrageous because we need to rest. Like, you can't work from 8 to 8 or 9 to 8. It's not healthy. You have to set boundaries with work. You have to, otherwise you will be stressed, and then your vagina will be like, oh, we stressed? What are you about to do right now? You want to have a blood party? You want to have a bleeding party? So yeah, I have to cut myself off with work. So I try to stop work at around 5:30 or 6. And like I said, after that, I do whatever it is that I want to do, whether it's productive or not. I just try to make sure that I'm not going to sleep working. And again, since I do stop work early, I'm oftentimes thinking like, okay, well, what do I need to do tomorrow? Which is crazy. We shouldn't be that way. And I hope y'all are not that way. But I'm like, okay, well, what do I need to do tomorrow? And I know for at least a couple years, like I had a very tough time sleeping because I would be so, you know, caught up with all of the things that I had to do the next day or the next week. And I literally couldn't sleep. Like, all I would think of, I don't know if I was dreaming about work or if I was actually awake and thinking about work.
Oh my gosh.
I literally don't know. But yeah, in order to, you know, subside all of those thoughts before I go to bed and try to actually get some hours in of sleep that are peaceful, I try to meditate before I go to sleep so that I have something else on my mind other than work.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a lot, y'all. But
no, but it was all needed to be said. And I think it just goes to show the connection between mind and body. And like if something is wrong physically, your body is telling you like, okay, what's up? And then if you feel something on the inside, your heart, mind, your spirit is telling you, I'm not okay, I'm not well. And we have the choice to make to honor that, or to be like, nope, back to my grind. I'm only going to care about, you know, my career. I'm not going to all it does is bite us in the butt.
Yeah, you are going to kill yourself if you do that. Like, it's been times where I had to go get a blood transfusion one time. I was in LA. I was working that day. So your hemoglobin, I'm going to say this wrong. I shouldn't even say it out loud because I'm going to get it wrong. But your hemoglobin has something to do with your red blood cell count. And the average hemoglobin for women is, I think, like 11 to 13.
Okay.
And I just started seeing a new doctor. We were at a trade show in LA for the lip bar. And my doctor was like blowing me up. And it's 6 p.m. So I'm like, why is this man calling me? He's blowing my line up. I finally call him back and he's like, you need to go to the hospital right now. I'm like, I'm working. And he's like, no, you need to go to the hospital right now. You need a blood transfusion. You should not be out, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, sir, I am chilling. But I've gone so many years chilling, like brink of passing out. But it's like, I know my body. I know what I'm doing. I can kind of control it. But I could literally kill myself. Like, my hemoglobin was down to a 3.5, which is outrageous. Like, I've had doctors tell me when it was at a 7, like, most people wouldn't be able to walk around with their hemoglobin at this level. And I'm like, but I'm actually very good. Like, I'm still going running. Like, I'm chilling. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. But y'all have to listen to your body. Like, our bodies aren't just talking shit. Like, you have to listen to your body.
Yeah. Yeah, and you gotta honor it, and I think that when you do things like you mentioned meditation, you mentioned journaling, like to clear your mind before you go to bed. When you do that, you honor you.
Yep.
And then you can show up creatively in your process. Then you can go kill it at work. But like if you on E, like everything is gonna get halfway done. Like your best self is not brought to the table, and who wants that?
Nobody wants that. That's how you get fired from jobs. And you're like, I'm doing my best, but you're not. You're doing what you think is your best, but you actually have to take care of your body so that you can be your best self for real.
Yeah, amen to that. And I feel like this is the perfect segue into our workshop, because you guys have heard Rosco, talk about her using mindfulness as a way to help her rest. That's what she does to power off, to honor her body. And we want to help you guys do the same thing. So you can turn your cameras back on. I am going to share my screen with you all, and then we'll go through this quick little workshop, and then we'll go into Q&A.
I missed y'all faces. What y'all been doing?
Listening to you. Okay. Okay, can y'all see my screen? Can you see it, Rosco?
Yep, I see it.
Okay. All right, let me put y'all at the top of my screen so that, okay. All right, so like we said, one of the main tools Rosco uses is meditation. It's a tool I use as well. It's a tool that we teach in the Menternship. Actually, like literally before every session, when the girls are in session, they're in 3 days a week for hours throughout the day. Before we handle any business, they're doing meditation, gratitude, and affirmations every single time, because we have to honor ourselves before we try and show up for the world. So this is a really, really important practice. And I feel like meditation, some of it has become a little commercialized, and I'm glad more people are finding out about it, but I really want to go into it. We're going to keep it high level because we're not going to have time to break it down bit by bit by bit, but I want to explain it in a way where it will mean something more to you all than what you've seen maybe circulating on social media. And if you do meditate, hopefully this can help strengthen your practice and you learn something new that can help. So meditation can lower stress levels. Meditation can give you a deeper sense of self. It can do a lot of things, but I want to talk about some things that it can't do, because there are some myths that go around with it. So you hear people say meditation is about clearing your mind, and it's not at all. Meditation is, it's the edit on it. It's a little error on here. That's supposed to say meditation is about focusing your mind, because it's not possible for you to block out thought. It's not possible for you to block out emotion. You need thought and emotion. We need that. It's really about you deciding where you want to focus on. What thoughts do you want to focus on? What emotions do you want to focus on? It's about having that awareness and that understanding. Meditation is about focusing the mind. So again, you can't block out those thoughts. You can choose what thoughts to focus on. That's where the power in meditation is. So when people are telling you don't think of nothing, that's not going to do nothing for you.
It's possible.
And it's not possible. And that's why people feel discouraged by meditation, because they're like, I'm still thinking. That's a good thing. That means you're human and you're alive. You should be thinking, you should be feeling, you should be processing. It's about being aware. So again, being aware, focusing the mind. And these are two of the most important parts that I need y'all to get with meditation. You have to focus the mind, you have to be aware. But how can you focus something that you don't really understand? Which is why we want to go and talk about the mind and, the importance of it. And I think I'm going to explain it through an analogy, just so that, again, we can't break it down bit by bit, but if you can process it like this, I think it'll be helpful. So if you guys could look at this brain, Let's divide this up in sections. Let's even pretend it was divided up in even more. Or if you could close your eyes and visualize a picture of a brain. And we saw that our brain, in this case is our mind, had different parts. So we had a part of joy, a part of happiness, a part of sadness, something associated with family. This is associated with sex. This is associated with painting or whatever you like. You have these different parts of your brain or your mind. And then I want you to picture like a glowing light, like an aura. And I want you to light up one part of the brain, like this. This lit up part, I want you guys to conceptualize that as your awareness. So if this part of the brain that's lit up on my screen is joy, my attention is going to go there. Joy was always there in the brain because we all have these different parts. But when I decided to move my awareness to joy, that lit up. That's what became present in my life. That part was where I gave my attention. It's where I put my awareness. And that's essentially what you do in meditation. You choose, okay, what part of my mind do I want to light up right now? So even if you guys are like, you got a project that you're working on, and let's say, for the sake of this conversation, it is a campaign, and you're like really, really stuck, and you don't know, who to get for the campaign, or even what to do. You don't have any ideas. You know that somewhere in your mind, you got this campaign section. You have work, you have goals, you have career. You might want to sit down and focus your thought on that and allow things to pass through the brain. You're going to think about a lot of different stuff, but picture your awareness going to that section to light that up and to bring you some clarity and some awareness for what you're trying to seek. If it is peace that you want, light up those centers of the brain, but understand like it's your mind and it's these sections, and then it's you bringing your awareness to the table as well. So it's a lot of different ways you can meditate, and we're not going to go through them all. There's mindfulness meditation, there's spiritual meditation, there's movement meditation. Mindfulness meditation is what we just talked about, observing your thoughts, letting them pass or stay, depending on what you want to focus on. So if I'm trying to focus on my next career move and I start thinking of puppies, I'm going to acknowledge that I'm thinking of puppies, but then I'm going to say we can let that pass until I start thinking thoughts that are have anything to do with what I'm seeking. There's spiritual meditation. That's when you try and focus on connecting with God. There's focused meditation when you focus on a specific object, or the sound of a gong, or you'll hear people say like, focus on your breath, and you'll focus in on that. Movement meditation is when you focus on the movement and what your body is doing. And then there's mantra meditation, which is what we're going to focus on today, which is like you repeating a phrase or a word or a sound. That's when you hear people say like om or whatever. And we're going to do mantra meditation through affirmation. And Roscoe's going to walk us through that.
Yeah, so I talked a few times about how I write in my journal. It's so important to me. And a lot of the times when you think about journaling, or at least when I think about journaling, I'm like, well, I don't want to write about everything that I did today. Or maybe I don't want to write about how I felt today. So a lot of times I'm led to write affirmations. So in the morning, I'll think about how do I want to feel today? I want to be happy or healthy or productive. So I think that affirmations are so important because they help us believe in the potential of whatever we want to manifest. So if y'all are about to graduate college in a year or two, you may have these certain goals, right? So I think that one of the very important ways for you to focus on those goals is to write down what they are and to create affirmations for them. So for me, when I'm saying my affirmations, I like to say I am. So affirmations should always be in the present tense. So if I'm waking up Friday morning, I will say I am happy, I'm healthy, I'm productive, I'm free of anxious thoughts. any of those things that you want to feel, you say that you are those things already. Like you're bringing them into your life, you're putting them into the universe, and it's going to come right back to you. I think a lot of us make affirmations without even knowing it. And I do this a lot myself. I'm trying so hard to stop it, but I may look in the mirror and be like, my skin is so trash today, or oh my God, I'm so fat right now, or why is my hair so ugly? But all of these things that you put out are going to come right back to you. Like when you say things out of your mouth, like you're the first person to hear it, right? So it's very important to watch what you say when you're making affirmations. It's very important to not say it in a negative. So for example, instead of, I'm trying to think of an example real quick. Instead of saying, I'm not going to eat that this week, maybe you'll say, I'll make sure that the things that I eat are nourishing to my body. You always want to say it in a positive form. You always want to make it very specific. So if you are about to graduate and you're looking for a job, instead of saying, man, I want a banging career once I graduate, you should say, I want to work at this company and I want this salary and I want to, whatever else, one of those affirmations, one of those things that you want in your career. You want to be very specific with it. And again, you want to say it in the present tense. So don't say, for me, like I don't want to say, once I have my surgery, I'm going to be so active and I'm going to be so strong. I'm going to say, I am very strong, I'm very active, I'm very healthy. Like I'm saying everything in the present tense. And then again, anything that follows I am will follow you. So be careful of what you say. Don't talk bad about yourself. Only say nice things about yourself, because when you put out that negative energy, it's going to come back to you.
I love that. Whatever follows I am will follow you. Okay. So now that we understand that, we understand high level what meditation is. Don't try and clear your mind. Don't try and think about nothing. Don't try and force a thought out. Try and focus your thought. And now that we understand, affirmations, because these, again, to me, I see them on social media all the time. It seems cliche, and it's just like, do y'all even believe what you're saying? Like, is there power in what you're saying? Or, like, I want us to use this as a very, very powerful tool. So we put together a list of affirmations, and I want you guys to take a look at these. The first ones are the I am affirmations that Rosco was saying, and that are like, near and true and dear to her heart. The other ones, I don't have a saying or like a title for the types of affirmations these are, but they definitely are still positive. They are specific. They are positive and they are in the now, like Rosco was saying. Rosco, you want to read your 5 and I can read my 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I do. All right, so I am beautiful on the inside. And with each of these, I'm just going to break them down a tiny bit. But when I say I am beautiful on the inside, it is something that I want to believe about myself, and it's something that I want others to see in me. So we all, I'm not going to say we all, I live on social media. A lot of us are on social media often. I think you can get a vibe from different people. How do I want to say this? Some people are fronters. I want to actually know that I'm a good person, and I want for people to feel like I am a good person. So that's what I mean when I say I am beautiful on the inside. Like I really want for that to, come out from my pores. Like I want to be beautiful from the inside. I want to be a genuinely good person. I am healthy. So instead of saying like, I want to be skinny or I want to get rid of this roll on my side, this is some of the stuff that I say to myself, y'all. I will say I am healthy. So no matter what I look like, no matter what I feel like, I want to be healthy on the inside. I'm happy. Happiness is so important to me. Really quick, one of my favorite quotes is, between stimulus and response is the freedom to choose. And you should always choose to be happy. So like between the time that something happens, when something stimulates you and when you respond to it, when you react to it, you have like this little tiny moment to decide how you're going to react to it. And if you always decide that you want to be happy as an outcome, that'll help you with your decision-making process. I'm creative. I think that COVID showed us all how creative we actually have to be. So whether you're like working in the creative field or not, wherever you worked, if you had a job or with school, you had to get creative with something to figure out a few maneuvers due to COVID. So not necessarily I'm creative, like I know how to paint or I know how to you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, I have a creative mind. I know how to maneuver through things in a great way. And I'm fearless. I think that in order for any of us to get where we want to be, whether it's to, you know, the next level in school or the next level in our career, the next level in all of our relationships, we have to be fearless, and we have to know that we can get whatever it is that we want as long as we go after it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For me, things that I say consistently, this first one, I only want what divinely wants me, is out my mouth every single day. I actually have to say it before I enter my room, just to get my attitude in check in the case that I do have a bad attitude or something. You know, this is my resting place. So to me, that's the reminder of, if it's not for me, I genuinely don't want it, because I only want the divine plan for my life. I only want what is seeking me earnestly because it belongs to me. And I think this would be a helpful affirmation to use, you know, when you're feeling like you're comparing yourself to people, when you're feeling like you don't have the job, or, you know, the test results that you want, or you're just not where you want to be in life, and you're seeking other things. Repeat, I only want what divinely wants me, so that you can get in line with what's already seeking you, and that's already on your path. Nothing but goodness comes to me all the days of my life. It's just a reminder that I have goodness coming towards me every single day, and that if I can choose to see it, it will be there. But it comes to me every single day of my life. The next one is, I see clearly my next step and expect miraculous outcomes. This is a powerful one to use when you are in a place of indecision, which can be a very detrimental place, especially for creatives, because of, you know, how we're wired. But we have to be able to move with purpose and move with knowing and expectation that we'll be okay when we decide to move forward. So I say that whenever, like, I need to make an important decision and I need a little bit of like clarity on what to do. The next one is, I'm connected to the source that creates all things, therefore nothing is impossible. There is something very, very powerful for me to know that the creator is connected to me, is within me. Because if the one who created all is in me, then I can do anything, and I'm made in his image. So that's something personal for me. And then love, power, and gratitude rest on me. I sign off my emails, love, power, and gratitude, Lex. I say it all the time. I send people love, power, and gratitude. Those are very important values to me. And if I'm ever flustered, if I ever need to feel empowered, if I ever, or even if I'm just not feeling much of nothing and I'm numb, I'll remind myself that love, power, and gratitude rests on me, like it is heavy on me. And that really, really helps me. So we wanted to show you guys these so that you could take them, of course, and we're going to actually email you this deck. We're going to make those few corrections on here. We'll email you the deck. We'll email you a sheet so you can print it out and decide what you're going to affirm today. But right now, we're actually going to meditate together. And I'm curious, how many of y'all meditate? Like, raise a hand if you do it. All right. Yeah. I see I feel y'all. Is there anybody that like meditates consistently? Like it's like a daily thing for you? Yeah. Okay. We got a few. It's a hard thing to get into. I am not as great as I can be when I'm not meditating. My grandma always tells me, "Oh, I know when you didn't meditate," and I just be like, "Dang, grandma." But it's become a daily habit for me, so much that like I can physically feel the difference between me when I have and when I have not. So we're gonna meditate today, because again, like I don't want this to be something that y'all hear and then it's like, oh, okay, like that was cool for the moment. Like we're gonna practice it right now so that you know how to do it afterwards too. So I want you guys to look at this list and identify which ones stood out to you when you heard it, when you heard Rosco give explanation, when you heard me give explanation, where you like, And even if you don't know why you said, I want you to hook on to that one. And I want you to put it in the chat because I'm going to lead us in a meditation. It won't be a long one. We'll only do like 2 to 3 minutes because meditation is a hard thing to do. And you would think that 5 minutes is an easy feat for meditation. but it's not like at all. So don't worry, we won't do it long, but I want to see if we have some like common answers in the chat, and that will help me kind of like guide the meditation. And if we get things that are all over, I'll just run through all of them. I will not be saying it mantra style, meaning repeating it over and over. I want to encourage you guys, like as you step into meditation, to do that. I will probably flow freely, knowing me, but I will try and pull these in. So let me go. I'm gonna leave this up for just a couple seconds. Once you put in the chat which one you like, if there's a spot in your room where you pray or where you journal, I want you to go there. So I'm gonna go sit in my little spot on the floor and get positioned in the meantime that you guys are putting your things in the chat. This is my spot where I be. Okay, has everybody had a chance to put it in there? I won't be able to look at the chat until I unshare my screen, so I gotta know. Does anybody else still need time? Okay, good. Okay. Thank you, Felicia, girl.
Okay, Alexis with the shit.
Y'all silly. I only want what divinely wants me, nothing but goodness I am creating. Okay, so y'all have done the full spectrum. Okay. That's cool though. That's cool. Let me pull this up. What we gonna do is I want everybody to actually turn their cameras off. I'll stay on, but just so that there can be a comfort and you don't have to worry about somebody seeing you. Let's do cameras off. Hey, Ange.
I always do that.
All right, so what I want y'all to do is sit on the floor, or if you're in a chair, I would really recommend getting on the floor if you can. And I want you to make sure that your hips are underneath you. So like literally if you gotta move your feet back like this, do what you gotta do to push your hips back. And then I want you to sit up straight and pull your shoulders back. And if you're comfortable enough to, I would suggest you close your eyes and begin to focus on your breath and my voice. And I just want you to be present right here, right now. And we're gonna start by giving thanks so that we usher ourselves into a state of gratitude. I want you to think of one thing that you are grateful for right now. And I want you to say it in your heart. I want you to think about what you need right now. What do you need emotionally, mentally, spiritually right now? And if you don't know, I want you to say in your heart, I'm seeking what is divine for me. And it will come. I want you to go back to your breath. And as you focus on your breath, I want you to pretend as if you could see the breath come in through your nostrils and fill up your belly. I want you to pretend like you could see the air rise up your spine, out of your throat, out of your mouth. Focus on that breath. And on this next one, we're going to do a deep breath. You're going to close your mouth. You're going to inhale through your nose and you're going to exhale out your mouth. And when you exhale, I want you to to hear your breath to come out and for you to push. And you're going to inhale for 3 and you're going to exhale for 4. So inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale for 3, exhale for 4. Good, one more time, I want you to pay attention to your breath. Inhale for 3, exhale for 4. Keep breathing and focusing on your breath. Reminded that it is your life source. Reminded that if you are still able to breathe, that means you still have purpose to serve. And that's a great, great thing. And as you focus on the inhale and the exhale of your breath, I want you to notice how your breath naturally slows down. And that's because you're present with your body. You're paying attention, you're focusing your mind. The part of your mind, the section of your mind that is healing, that is mindfulness, that is present, is lit up right now, and it thanks you. And as we go into these affirmations, I want you to continue to focus on the breath. Matter of fact, every time you breathe in, I want you to pretend like you're breathing in the affirmation I'm saying. And if you need to say it out loud, please do. All of you guys are on mute. Nobody will hear you but you, and that's the most important person. I want you to breathe in, I am beautiful on the inside. And I want you to picture you breathing that in and that sinking so deep within you that it rests in the deepest part of yourself that is truth. And it sits there on your insides where your beauty is. I am beautiful on the inside. I am healthy. Inhale that in to the parts of your body that needs it the most. Rosco, to your ovaries, to your uterus. You are healthy and it rests there. Where do you need health to rest? Inhale it and place it there. See it go there in your body. I am healthy. I am happy. And what I want you guys to do with this one is feel this. I want you to see yourself happy. What does that look like for you? Does that look like you smiling? Are you crying because you have tears of joy? Who makes you happy? Who's there while you happy? What happened to make you happy? See it right now. Smile so that you can be there, so that you can experience that moment right now and attract it. You are happy. I am happy. And I am thankful. I am creative in every facet. Breathe in that creativity. If you are a painter or a writer, I want you to breathe it in and see it go to your hands. If you come up with brilliant ideas, I want you to breathe that creativity into your brain, into your heart. If you need to be innovative, breathe it into your brain. Breathe it where you need the creativity. Where do you need it? Breathe it right there. I am creative. If you're happy about that creativity, smile. Again, feel it, exude that energy so you could attract more of it. I am creative. I am fearless. Let's all breathe this into our heart. Where fear cannot be, where love is present, I am fearless. I have heart and courage to do everything that I am called to do. I am fearless. I only want what divinely wants me, person, place, or thing. Imagine yourself being divinely placed on a perfect path. Everything that is supposed to be yours is yours because you chose to walk the path that is already divinely placed out for you. No person that is not for you will be there. No thing. Nothing to bring you out of alignment, just things that are divinely meant for you. God's best for you wants you and it's seeking you and you found it. I only want what divinely wants me. Nothing but goodness comes to me all the days of my life. Breathe that into tomorrow. Visualize yourself waking up tomorrow to a good day. You're in the bed, you open your eyes, you're grateful. Thank you. Nothing but goodness comes to me all the days of my life. I see clearly my next step and expect miraculous outcomes. I want you guys to visualize blurriness right now. And now I want you to say, I see clearly my next step and expect miraculous results. And I want you to see that blurry picture become clear. Visualize your foot taking a step. If you have something specific that you need clarity on, see that, and I want you to see you on the other side of that clarity. What does that feel like for you? Give thanks for it. Just say out loud, thank you for clarity. Thank you that I see clearly, and expect miraculous outcomes. I am connected to the source that creates all things, therefore nothing is impossible. You have divine energy and divine power within you. It's a powerful thing. Breathe that into your deepest belly. Breathe that into your heart. See it go there. I am connected to the source that creates all things. See that source on the inside of you and understand that nothing is impossible. Love, power, and gratitude rest on me. I want you to see love, power, and gratitude sit on your shoulders and cover you. Cover you so much that it drips, and that when you leave, people can feel that residue of love, power, and gratitude. That it comes out of you, that when you speak, love, power, and gratitude comes out of your mouth. That you give and receive love, power, and gratitude because it rests on you so heavy. And we give thanks. We give thanks that all these things are true. And that all of these things have been breathed into us. And everything that is not true has been breathed out. And I want you to return to your breath. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Again, deep inhale. Deep exhale. Returning to a state of gratitude, thankful that you still have life in you. You still have things to accomplish. That all the gifts placed in you have not been used up yet because you're still alive, still connected to source, still have a breath. And as you come back center, I want you to move your hands, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move your neck. As you come back centered, come back aware. You can slowly open your eyes, move around a little bit. And when you're ready, you guys can come back to the camera.
That was amazing.
Yay. Turn on y'all mics real quick for me. How did y'all feel? How was that?
Amazing. So needed.
Emotional.
I got emotion.
Very emotional. I'm over here crying.
Yeah, it'll do that. It'll do that. I meant to give that as a forewarning that meditation will make a lot of stuff come up. My bad. I meant to say that.
I'm not gonna lie, like my cramps are gone right now. Like that was much needed. Like,
woo! Come on.
Much needed.
Wow. Okay, good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And y'all can do that. And I lied. I said it was gonna be 2 to 3 minutes. I should have known I wasn't gonna go 2 to 3 minutes. But that's good though. Like I don't know how long it was. Maybe it was like 5, 6 minutes. But that's good because y'all stuck through it, right? Like we got through it. We did it. So shout outs to y'all. Has anybody on here like never meditated before?
Not like
Not like that. Okay. Well, that's cool. I'm glad that we got to do it together. I'm glad we got to experience that together. Don't let this be the last time you do that. Do it tomorrow. Like, I need y'all to do it tomorrow.
I said they can do it tonight. Y'all can start tonight before y'all go to bed.
Y'all hear that? Y'all can start tonight and just pick one or pick two or pick three or put the list in front of you and just go to what you need. Like, and take your time, talk slow, go with what you feel. And the more you do that, the more you'll increase your awareness and understanding of self to be able to even know what you need. Yeah. Because if you don't have that awareness, you're going to find it challenging to even identify, I don't know what I need. But just start by trusting your gut. Just how I asked y'all, was it something that you said to? Whether you knew it or not, just go to it. And this whole spiritual journey, this whole mindfulness thing, in order to get your rest, it's going to be, it's literally a journey. So you're going to have to learn how to trust your spirit. You're going to have to learn how, to identify when that's your spirit and when that's you. And you're going to have hiccups and up and downs, and that's okay. But I really want to encourage you guys to try this again tonight. We're going to be, like I said, sending out the affirmations to you guys so that you can keep practicing it. But now that we've done that, it's Q&A time. Wow, it's 2:20. Rosco, you got like 10 more minutes?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. So, y'all, it's a raise your hand feature on here on the reactions, I believe it is. Raise your hand if you got a question, and then I'll be able to see who has one on the side. If you got something for Rosco, if you got something for me, we can, spend our last minutes kicking it. I see Felicia.
So I got two quick questions. The first one, Rosco, you talked about like being fired from jobs because you're just not at your best self, and you talking about like your journey with fibroids. Like, I'm literally 25 battling fibroids every day. And that's been my struggle. Is I've lost 2 amazing dream jobs because I had to miss work because I was in pain. How do you, one, initially communicate that when you're starting a job, but then also how do you balance that to make sure that doesn't ever be the case again?
Well, it's difficult to make sure that will never be the case again. One of the things that I try to do is make sure that I'm working with humans, like not just the company, like people who will understand that I am a person with a vagina and I cannot control what comes out of it. I think that's very important. Unfortunately, all of us, we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, a job is a job. All of these people may not be so compassionate and they may not understand the struggles that we go through with our body. So it's just a challenge that we have to deal with, unfortunately. I don't know if that would be something that you can, raise a concern with HR. But yeah, I'm unsure about that. But I will say, for me, like, one of the ways when I went to LA, it was a new company that I worked with. And while they were a connection from a studio I worked with in New York, I didn't really know them. So I luckily had a woman who was the manager of the studio. And if it's a man, you just have to talk to the man the same way. You have to explain what's going on with your body. A lot of people don't know what fibroids is. So you have to say, I have fibroids when I am on my period. It affects me in different ways than it may other women. And this is something that I can't control. So I may need time off. And you kind of just got to see what happens. And like I said, when I was living in LA, sometimes I couldn't take time off. So I would just strap up and whatever happened on that 1.5-hour journey, I dealt with it. It may have been embarrassing, but I dealt with it. I got to work, I changed my clothes, and then I was back at it. And like, they also knew, like, look, I'm gonna be dipping off set because I gotta go to the bathroom once an hour. Like, if I feel something, I gotta clench and then run to the bathroom. So if you see me running away, I don't want to get away from y'all. I just gotta go check myself to make sure I don't have another accident on set. But you just have to be really honest and transparent and open and hope that whoever you're working with is receptive.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dana.
Hi, so my question would be, when I'm in my creative mindset and I'm trying to basically think about, so I'm like a recent college graduate. So right now I have so many ideas going through my head where I want to work. Do I just start a business? Do I not start a business? How do I start it? I don't even want to start it. All of those things like over and over. But sometimes I do come across ideas where I have executed things, but it's just like, how do you decide when it is the right idea, or like what is like, I feel like I haven't gotten that feeling of what is the right thing to start with now, because I know I can't do everything right now.
Lex, I don't know your thoughts, but I would say if it hasn't hit you, like this is what you should be doing, I don't think you should be doing it. Like, I think that especially if you're going to start a businesses are not easy. You have to be passionate about it, and you have to, love what it is that you will be doing. You have to really care about it. And I think that if it's something that you're truly passionate about, it won't necessarily be a thing that's like kind of cloudy and circling in your brain, like, should I do this? Should I not do it? And I'm also really big on writing things down. I love making lists. So maybe you like create different sections in a notebook for these different ideas that you have, and you write down what do you love about it, what would be some of the difficulties, like just a very basic list of pros and cons, so how can this help the world? Why am I doing this actually? Is it something that I care about? Is it something that I think will make me popular? Is it something that will help other people? Like, is it helping other people more than it's helping me? Is it something that people actually need? Because we don't need, it's a lot of things that we don't need any more of, right? So like, what's the true value in it, and how passionate are you really about it?
Just add a little bit to what you said. Meditate, so that you can connect to it. Like, that's why we just did this. Like, for real. And I know it just seems like it's simple. Like, we didn't do nothing crazy just now. We really didn't. But you guys felt something. Y'all like, okay, something just happened. Like, I feel something hit me. The more you do that, the more you will become self-aware, the more you'll become in tune, the more you'll become aligned. So then things that you used to question, you just know, your spirit knows, and you'll be able to identify with that. So on top of what Rosco said, write down those lists. Yes, do all of that, and meditate too, because you have the answer inside of you. It's there. You just have to bring that awareness to it. Sydney.
So my question was, I looked at your LinkedIn profile, and you have like, you are a business, like it's a Rosco Spears LLC. So I was wondering, like, how did you do that? What does that process look like? Because I've kind of seen posts about people talking about doing that, but I'm not sure how it works.
I'm gonna try to say if I remember, because I did it so long ago. Literally, you see if there's an LLC available, whatever you want for your business to be called. And Lex, do you know, it's something on Michigan.gov where you go to register your LLC.
Yeah.
It's a very easy process. The reason that I did it is because I had all of this art, and I didn't know, like, I wanted to have a brand name for it, but I'm like, I can't really think of anything that I'm in love with. I'm very indecisive. If I, make a LLC of a brand name, I'll probably hate it in 5 days. So I was like, I'm just gonna put my name as a LLC to make it easier on myself, so that I'm not going crazy in 5 days. But I can look it up and get it over to you. But the process was really easy. It was like $50. It's simple. I can't tell you the ins and outs right now because I did it a very long time ago, but I can get that to you.
Yep. Go to sba.gov. I can put it in the sba.gov. And do it on there. Some people use services like LegalZoom. I don't think y'all need to do that. You're just going to end up paying extra money for a filing fee. Don't do that. Go to sba.gov. It'll take you to whatever you'll decide, whatever state you want to file your LLC in. Like Rosco said, it's a really easy process. It'll be $50. You'll hear back in 2 weeks once they actually file it. It's really easy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no, for sure. Darby.
Hi, okay. So I'm gonna give like a little spiel, and then you all can kind of tell me, whatever advice you feel like I use. Well, I've been styling since I guess 2014 now, and I've just recently kind of come over this like new venture I want to do. So I'm starting a new thrift shop, and one of my main struggles with like wardrobe styling, and my journey in like this creative realm in general is that like I have a I have trouble finding or building a team. Like I'm able to put together photo shoots, but I feel like I have a hard time like having this like creative family that I long for and that I'm trying to manifest. And then also having like a mentor. I've never felt like I've had a creative mentor. Like in school, I've had like, you know, advisors, school advisors and things like that, but nothing in regards to like what I actually want to do in life. I've reached out to people. I've definitely done that, of course, but I mean, I still get, you know, I always try to take rejection as redirection, but that's still something that I think I struggle with heavily in what I'm doing in life.
I guess I can speak to the creative team part. If you don't feel like you have people around you that can, you know, help to build your team, who you can build a team with, I think that you should. Where do you live?
I'm in Southfield, so Metro
Okay.
Detroit area.
I think you should reach out to creatives whose work you like and offer your services. So if there are any, we have a lot of photographers in Detroit, you reach out to them. Like I said, again, stalk them or DM them. That's the easiest way to stalk. Just shoot a DM and say, hey, I really love your work. I am a fashion stylist. I would love to be on some of your sets to, you know, provide my services for whoever you're working with. That's one way. Other than that, you may have to hire these people. So in order to get your work out there, you want a really nice portfolio, right? So again, you'll find these photographers that you like, these makeup artists that you like, find some of your friends who can model the looks that you put together, and you have that shot and you start your portfolio, and then you just do the same thing. Like if you feel like you aren't making connections with these photographers whose team you want to join, you then have something to present to them. Like, look, this is my work and I'm the bomb, so you need me on your team too. I think that's one of the easiest ways to do it. Also, you may not always need a team. You know what I'm saying? Like I am to the point where I would love to dip in and out of things and not really be connected to anything in particular. So make the lip bar is like my god baby. So lip bar aside, like I would love to go to this one company and spend 4 days with them and put together this beautiful shoot with them. So I'm not a part of their team. I'm just going to them to offer my services. Y'all give me my paycheck and I'm out, and I'm going to, you know, use my creative juices at some other company. So yeah, I think it's a couple different ways you can go about that.
Okay.
And don't feel like you're by yourself because you don't have a team. Like if you're good, you're good. You still need to put your work out there.
True.
For that mentor thing, you know, I feel like I want more mentors, and I have some really solid ones, but I found that like, you know, obviously like if we're seeking a mentor, we want someone who is like where we want to be, or, you know, has a lot more wisdom and a lot more knowledge and is a lot more experience. With that though, if they have all that wisdom, knowledge, and experience, they're probably like super, super busy. And what I've learned, like even with my mentor, Sophia, love her. She pours into me. She cuts into me gracefully when I need it. She be getting me together. But I'll even know like with her, like if she doesn't respond, she's not doing it on purpose. And like, I'll hit her up like, hey, circling back, say, hey, and my bad, girl, my bad, baby. Like, I'm gonna call you back. So like sometimes that rejection might be that they might be busy, but then also they might not even know how to mentor you. Like they might not know like what you need, especially if they don't know you. So like with Sophia, like even though like we have an amazing relationship, she was my director when I was working at Shea Moisture, and she's known me for years. I still make sure that when I call her, like I have like a list of things I want to talk to her about, because I understand she's head of marketing in her company. So like she doesn't have too much time, and if she does get on the call with me, like I really want to make sure I honor that. And I found that like I get more value out of conversations when I do have those specific bullets. And yeah, like I also prayed for her a lot. Like I prayed for the person that God wanted in my life to mentor me, to guide me. And those who he did, like, stuck and they stayed, and those who he didn't were flaky, not really dependable, like MIA. And it was just like, okay, like, I don't need that, but this is what I do need. So hopefully that helps in some capacity.
And that's another thing you can meditate on.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I don't meditate normally, so yes.
Yes. Ro.
Hi, so my question was for Rosco, what skills or tools would you say are the most critical in order to stand out and be successful in, I guess, in a creative field, or more specifically as a creative director, or I guess all the many things you've done. What stood out to you as things that made you stand out?
I think one of my biggest assets to my team is my flexibility. So Lex and I were joking earlier about how when she worked at the Lip Bar, she knows like how last minute we are with everything. The thing is, like, everything looks very peachy on the outside, but y'all don't know that we are scrambling the day before a launch to get all of these assets in order. Like I said, I'm on Skype with my guys in China, like probably 2 a.m. before I launch the next day, make sure that the website is updated. So just, I would say flexibility is a really big one. A lot of times if I am creating assets, right, for a launch, I have to wait for product development to actually have this product, to have this bronzer or this foundation, whatever it is, it needs to be in final packaging. I need that to do my photo shoots and to get my product shots done. So it's a lot of hurry up and wait when it comes to what I do. And that's production, styling, creative directing. But when you get it, the other skill that I think is necessary is that you gotta be on the move. Like, I am working hard, but I'm also working very fast, and I know how to work fast because I'm good at what I do. But yeah, I think those are two of the biggest things: being flexible, knowing that things will change. I've had many of times where most of my team thought that something was so brilliant and it was like ready to go out, and then we send it to Melissa and she's like, oh, well, these 12 things need to change. And it's like, but my boy, this is going out in 5 minutes. And she's like, yeah, but just change these 12 things. So being flexible, knowing how not to take stuff like that personal, I think that's I'm gonna keep going. This is gonna be my last one. I didn't even mean to say this one, but learning not to take things personal as a creative is so important, because when you are doing whatever, if you're doing fashion styling, or if you're doing photography, if you are working on a website, like, you're putting your best foot forward and you think that everything is beautiful, but you also have to present it to a team, right? So like, I do my work, I do my photo shoots, and then I pull up on my marketing team like, ta-da! And then you have to be ready for all of that criticism and feedback. And you can't take anything personal. You just gotta be like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Oh, it could have been better if I did this. So yeah, those are a few things.
So, okay. Help me with the name again. I'm sorry.
Dejiana.
You already knew. Dejiana. Okay. Go ahead, boo.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hear you.
Oh, I don't know what happened. Okay, so I have a question for Rosco, because I know you said you like moved around a lot. So I recently just graduated from MSU and moved to a state where I don't know much about much, but I really just wanted like a new start, and I want to build and like expand my creative realm with new people and things. So I know we use media a lot, and I know we're in a pandemic, but post-pandemic, when this is over, what are some tips that you can give me for as far as like networking and trying to break into the industries, but in different cities?
Where are you at?
Creative industry in Atlanta.
Okay. You sound like it was someplace we wouldn't know. I'm like, where could she be?
Oh yeah. I want to. Yeah.
I will say that I use social media a lot. So I'm in Beacon. This is it's a very new place. Beacon is like an hour and a half from New York, and upstate in the Hudson Valley. And me personally, when I moved here, my nose is itching really bad. When I moved here, I'm like looking for Black people because it's a very white town. And I'm like, where are my girls at? And then when I don't see any in the streets, I get on my phone and I look on Instagram and I do hashtag Beacon, Beacon, New York. And I just scroll until I see somebody that looks like me. And I'm like, oh, where you at? What you doing? And then maybe I DM them. When the world does open back up, this is very creepy, but you kind of just have to make yourself make friends. I did this literally right before COVID happened. But I was at a restaurant and I'm like, oh my God, this girl is so cute. She could be my friend. So I'm like, I need a oop though, like somebody throw me an alley-oop. So when was with me, and she was like, your hair is so cute. Your braids are really cute. Who did them? And she like said it. And then once she did that, it kind of like broke the ice between our waitress and the table. And I was like, you know you're gonna be my friend, right? And she was like, oh, I know we're gonna be friends. And like we never got a chance to hang out because COVID happened, but we've been texting. We're friends on Instagram now. So you kind of just, it's really awkward. You are going to be uncomfortable, but you just have to do it. And when it comes to finding people in creative spaces, I think that making friends in general is one way in a new town. And then you kind of just like, you know, dig into their connections. Like, so what do you do? And who do you know who does this? But what do you do in Atlanta? What are you trying to get into?
So I went to school for journalism and entrepreneurship, and I have a hair care line. So I'm thinking about going back to school for hair, but I'm kind of just feeling the water right now. So just running my business and like just trying to meet more women. So I've like looked into a lot of different organizations like Ladies Who Brunch in Atlanta, just little stuff that I can join. So,
go to meetup.com, or I think it's the app. But you can like list all of the things that you're interested in. So like I was on meetup.com when I moved here, and I'm like, I enjoy hiking, I enjoy painting, and then it kind of puts you in groups of people who are interested in the same thing. I went to one meditation with it ended up being all older people, which was a lot of fun. They were like 50, 60 plus. Yeah, it kind of just joined you with other people who are interested in the same thing as you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
that's dope. That's smart, Rosco. We got one more. Time for one more. Maya.
Okay. Can y'all hear me? I'm gonna unmute it. Hey y'all. So I'm in this. I'll be a junior this year at A&T, and just pandemic, college in general. College is cool, you know. Not a passion, but I'm doing it. It's a stepping stone. You know, I think I've DM'd you once, Alexis, actually, and you told me just, girl, I know, get through it. You know, it's kind of a stepping stone and get through the process. And I know that I'm in a space of kind of just trying to figure out is what is God, you know, what does he have for me? What do I need to do? And I know you said meditate, and I need to get like intentional about that. And ultimately, when you get that download, or when you get that, you know, okay, this is what you need to do, where do you go from that? You know, what steps do you take once you feel like you figured out what you do? Because that can be scary, you know. How do you kind of build up that courage and build up the space and the momentum to really get into it and keep going in it? Yeah.
I'm gonna throw that one to you, Lex.
You do it scared. That's the best answer. Like literally, you're gonna have to do it scared. Especially if you get into the entrepreneurship space, baby.
It's wild.
It's
a lot. It's not cute. It's not easy. It's not pretty. It's not fun.
It's not. And I really wish I could give like better answers when it comes down to questions like that. But it just be like, man, strap up. You like literally strap up because you're about to go for a ride. And just
it's gonna be
it's gonna be worth it, and know that you built for it. That's what you built for this. And I'm not saying that like, oh, I'm built for it and therefore everything is gonna go perfect. It's not. And it's gonna be like really hard times and things like that, but know that you built to conquer those things. And you just have to literally be like, do it scared. The thing that I would say don't do is like, don't not move at all. Like I said earlier, like indecision tears down great people, the greatest people of all time. Like we would never know their greatness if they didn't decide to step into it. So just move, just do something, like, you know, in some capacity, take some step. And like, even if it's not all the way together, whenever you do get that divine download, so what? Like, you're doing better than the person that isn't doing anything at all. You're doing better, and forget the person that isn't doing anything at all. You're doing better than the person who you were when you weren't doing it at all. And that's who you got to level up on every single day. So like, do it scared, You know, make a plan, sit down, you know, and just decide, okay, what am I, and then I'll say this last thing, break it down into smaller scale. So like, let's say you do get that divine download and it's some sort of business that you're going to start. I'm a big picture person, so it's hard for me not to see all the way up here and to go down here and say, well, this week I'm going to blank. Instead of me being like, by the end of this year, I need 150K in sales. Like, that's where I'll be trying to go. And like, that's cool. Set those goals, but what are you going to do tomorrow? What are you going to do today? What are you going to do this week? What is this week's goal? Because if I'm constantly looking at 150K, that means I'm looking at 150K Lex. And if I'm not there yet, it's actually going to discourage me along the way, because I'm like, I know it's in me, but I'm not her yet. I haven't gotten there yet. And the only way I can get there is if I break that down into, how about $100 in sales this week? Like, can we just
something that's more attainable?
Yeah, can we just do that and like just take it step by step? So when you do get that big vision, because I know God will divinely place all of that in all of you. Don't become overwhelmed by it. Don't let it like encompass all of you, you know, especially for the people on here that are like very visionary type people. Like, that can be a great thing for us, but it also can be very detrimental, because we'll be all the way up here when today we need to be right here, and then the next day here, and so forth and so on. So do it scared and do it small until it builds up big.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right, y'all. This was really good. This is really, really good. This was really, really good. I really appreciate y'all for coming and taking time out of your day to pour into yourselves. This is one of the best, pouring into yourself is the best investment you can make. You're going to get a lot of fruit from it. And I thank you guys for trusting the Menternship and Rosco to do some pouring. Rosco, thank you for taking time out of your day, Miss 5011 jobs and responsibilities. Like, it is not taken for granted. I really appreciate you for coming on.
Thank you for having me on, Lex. This is the highlight of my day, obviously. Like, this is what feeds me. This is what fuels me, not the other million things that I do. I love this. And I mean that. Thanks for joining us, y'all.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. We can turn your mics off real quick so you can say bye to Rosco and thank Rosco, and then we'll do a
Thank you,
screenshot.
guys.
Thank
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is great.
Okay, so let's do this screenshot. We'll do what we've been doing is like doing the first one, you know, cute, get your little pose together, and then we'll do like a silly one on the second one. Sound good? Okay.
Sounds good. Get y'all lighting together.
Get the lighting together. If you need a second, you know.
Can you see my bum?
No.
Oh, yeah, you gotta hit the side so that you know you can see something back. All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we can get silly. 1, 2, 3. Okay, why everybody always go to the peace sign? That's so funny.
That's all I know.
Okay. Thank y'all so much. We love y'all. Stay looking forward to an email, because Rosco and the Lip Bar is sending y'all free lippies. So we're gonna need
just go gift. That's it.
We're gonna need to be able to get you get it shipped to you. So you're gonna get an email so that you can send us over your address and we can get that to you. So fill it out today. And y'all have really good days, okay?
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.